Okay, I want to do something in G minor, and I have this idea. Okay, how can I do that? How can I make that work? Problem solved. How did I do that? Well, today's topic is about alternate tunings. And I'm Mark Mazzatenta. Thank you for joining me. I'm here to help strengthen your guitar skills. And today we're talking about retuning the guitar. Now, when would you ever need to do that? A lot of times there's a drop D needed, maybe for a song that you have a lot of D major chords or D minor chords. That's an easy way to get a nice low D in the bass. Sometimes people retune their strings to an open chord, like an open G, for instance. Today I've got it tuned a little strangely, and I'll show you visually in just a minute, but here's my tuning. Now I had to retune a few of these strings. Can anyone guess what those letter names are? I've got a low D. It's an A. It's a D. That's an A. That's a B flat. And that's an E. So here's my open tuning. There we go. From low to high, it's D, A, D, A, B flat, E. So what strings did I have to retune? I had to retune the 6th string from an E down a whole step to a D. The 5th string stayed the same, the 4th string stayed the same, the 3rd string I had to move from a G up a whole step to an A. So I had to tighten that. The 2nd string I lowered by a half step from a B to a B flat, and then I kept the E string as it always is. Now, maybe someone else has come up with this tuning. I don't know, but I kind of hear it as a D minor chord. Even though there's no F note in here. I hear it as a big D minor chord. That B flat, what would that be? It's a half step away from the 5th. So it's like a raised 5th. So it actually gives me what I view as a D minor chord. Now, if you want to try to create your own tuning, go for it. Think about whole steps or half steps and just experiment a little bit. I came up with this a few years ago, just I think by messing around and coming up with something exotic sounding that I liked. Now, once you do that, everything probably is going to be different. So what you have to do next is just explore what has changed. So maybe take some very familiar chord shapes and see what you get. In this case, I'm playing a C major chord shape and I'm getting this awesome chord. I've got to figure out what that is. That's beautiful. So here's where knowing your fretboard helped, because now I'm going to go in. I've got to identify what that is so I know what I'm playing. Okay, so that's a C, that's an E. Now my third string's different. That's an A, so that's the sixth. That is a B natural, which is the major seventh, and then I have my E on top, which is the third. So I've got a sixth and a seventh in there, making that super cool sounding. Once you find a chord shape that sounds good, then what you do is move it around to see what other cool spots you can find. So I'm just going to move that 2 frets to the right. Oh, I love that too. It just happened. Thankfully, it sounds super awesome. So again, I would go in there, identify what those letter names are, and then label it. Now, they may not all work. I'll just keep going here. I'm not going to use that one. Nah, maybe. Okay, let's try another shape. Let's try a D chord shape. Ooh, that's really cool too. And why does it sound so great? You'd want to go in there and see what notes you have. That's a D. That's a B. So that's the sixth of a D chord so far. That is now, let's see, we've got a B flat, B natural, C, C sharp. So that's the major seventh. And then we've got our normal third of the chord on top. Now I'm going to move that around. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. Depends what the context is. But you discover all these colorful chords that you didn't really have access to before. And the reason is I retuned. And the prominent feature of that retuning was the interval between string 3 and 2. Watch this. I now have a half step. That's the open, so if I just continue, I now have a half step between string 3 and 2. Now that might sound ugly at first, but you can use it inside a chord. Usually like a great keyboard voicing has like a half step or a whole step kind of embedded in the middle of the voicing. Well, now I can do that to get these really interesting, beautiful chords. So you just explore. Maybe I could try a bar chord. Okay, now normally this is a major chord. Let's see what we get. That is not major anymore because of how I retuned. That is now a minor ninth with the seventh chord, with the seventh in there as well. So when you get these chords that have extra tones in them, like sixths or sevenths or ninths, you get colorful things going on. So I want to show you some of the chord shapes that I used in an actual piece of music with this tuning, and what the chord shapes look like and their label. So you can see that most of these chords have extra notes in them, maybe a ninth or a seventh. There's some of them, and I'll play these. There's a couple more. Right, so notice that they don't look like the regular shapes that we're used to with some of those chords. All right, so I'm going to play you a little part of a song that I wrote using this. It was called Second Voice, and here's some of those chords that you just saw. Why does that sound so cool? It's an F sharp minor 7 with a ninth, and you can see it right there. And why it sounds cool is that you have that half step in the middle of that voicing. And then here's some of I couldn't get with normal chord shapes. And then here's another part of the song. Look at these. These are what I'm about to use, and you can see the label there. So the extra stuff that's in parentheses usually is adding some really great color to the chords. So here's an A major 7 chord. Why does that sound so pretty? Because it's got that half step. The major 7th and the root together. Now I'll move it to the left 2 frets and I'll have a G major 7. There's a little neighboring chord. So my little melodic figure was, in the song, this chord here called the G13 with a 9th. So 13 implies that you have the 7th, the lowered 7th, which would be an F. But let's see what else is in there. So I've got the G, which is the root, a D, which is the 5th. There's the 9th, which is an A. That, now, since my 3rd string is an A, if you're not sure, just count up. I'm trying to locate this 7th fret note. So A, B, C, D, E. That's an E, that's the 6th. And that's also what the high E string is. That's the 7th. So to have the 6th and the 7th together is not easily doable with regular tuning. And that's the advantage of trying some alternative tunings and see what cool harmonies you get. And maybe you'll be as lucky as I was when I created that and then found these cool chord shapes. All right, so try that, everybody, and see what you get. I hope you get a good result. Thank you for watching. If you like this, please give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe to my channel. I've got many instructional videos as well as performance on there, so check them out, and I'll see you next time.